Extra long.
Is it Susudio?
No, this is our new song.
It sounds like Susudio.
Susudio.
It's too long. I have to cut it down.
Permanently.
Remember we had a whole show about
Yeah, I know, and I don't remember this one.
This is the one we picked.
Yeah.
Did we listen to the whole thing?
It's done now. There you go.
Oh. Something explodes.
Yeah, it needs it's a bit long. It's a bit long. We'll cut that down. Maybe we'll cut it down for this podcast.
Yeah, we probably will.
There.
All right. Hey, it's podcast G Force Season 2.
Season
Didn't
two.
know what was gonna happen. All right.
How do you say season in French?
Saison, isn't it?
Saison 2.
Saison.
Oh.
All right.
See, now we don't have to do
We're
French
bilingual
subtitles.
now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Put those underneath with video.
Yeah.
Ooh, now.
Yeah. So let's get this thing started. Well, we did our thing.
We did.
We did our show.
Right.
You want to wrap
We
up the
did.
show a little bit? The show went on.
Yeah, it was
It
great.
was a rousing success.
It is. It was a rousing success. People showed up.
Yes.
They
which
paid
was so
money.
nice.
We
Yeah.
actually did 2 shows in one day.
That was crazy.
In one evening.
Yes. And people showed up to both of them.
Yes, they did.
And they,
That was the thing I wasn't sure because it's like you're sort of splitting an audience,
Yeah.
but it was we had good crowds for both
We did,
shows, which
yeah.
was great.
we did sell out the first one completely. So that was good. And people laughed.
There were no acts of God.
No.
No.
Snowstorms or anything else to keep people away.
God did not show up.
Actually, God came back because it was Easter. Oh my
Oh,
God!
yeah, there you
it
go,
was an
yeah.
act of God.
Well, he was
The
busy,
second
that's
act,
probably
it was on
why,
Sunday. Yeah, that's
Had
a
things
whole
going
other
on.
thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
But people did show up even though it was Easter because that was a bit of a crapshoot.
It was. And then, yeah. And,
But the show went well.
And we
it
had-
was well received.
and some of the sketches we talked about in this very podcast did show up.
They did.
on
Did
the
they
stage.
ever?
They did
With
with a
And-
vengeance.
And well received.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no video evidence of that show.
Why is that?
I was going to tape it, and then as I'm doing right now on our YouTube channel, I was going to tape it, and I was missing something that I needed in order to tape. Oh, it was the connector to the tripod. The connector to the tripod, Thomas.
yeah.
I did not have it, and I couldn't tape it. So
And then we just kind of
That's
gave up.
unfortunate.
yeah,
But
But
maybe we'll be able to resurrect some of these in video format.
yeah, because
Yes.
that is what we're trying to do.
Part of the plan.
Us old people.
have we ever mentioned that we're
Exactly.
Project G-Force and we're a sketch comedy troupe in
No,
this?
we
haven't.
For those that have
No.
never heard of us or just picking this up.
Could start at the first episode of season 2. If
yes.
you're deranged,
Yeah.
if you're
Yes,
a
you might.
lunatic.
You never know with people.
What is this thing that we're going to listen to? Oh, okay, yes. So we are Project G-Force, indeed. We are a sketch comedy troupe in London, Ontario. And we do things that are funny. We hope.
This is our 11th year together, or 12th.
Yeah, it might be 12th now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did the 10th anniversary two shows
shows
ago.
ago.
Yeah, so
So there you go.
12 years.
Wow.
And now we're going to gab, and you can listen, and we have things to talk about. And Matt has a format we're going to use this time.
So what's different about this season?
it's a big season. We got some guest stars
Yes.
happening this season. We fired our showrunner, and now we've got a new one, so it's going to be even better than ever. So this year, I think we'll just because hopefully.
That was quite a mug.
Yeah, that was a good mug, actually. Remember, we're on video now, so all these behind the scenes.
I know, just trying to look natural. Speaking of foundation garments, I'm going to have to start wearing this for
I know, I'm
podcasts.
sucking in my gut
Yeah.
for this part
We
here.
learned moments before the start that what a foundation garment is.
Yes.
Yes.
For those of you who
It
don't
is
know.
not made out of concrete.
No, but you feel like it could be when it's girding your loins. Anyhow,
Girding.
girdling. Okay, sorry, Matt, we interrupted.
So I think, like, general format, we talk about stuff like we're doing right now.
Oh.
And then we're going to do something called 4 questions. So every one of us is going to bring one question to the table. It could be anything
Yes.
about any subject matter.
Yes.
It could be advice we're asking of the group.
Yes.
It could be anything at all. And then from that, hopefully, eventually, something may come out just in the conversation that we could maybe use for a sketch
God.
some point.
I didn't draw that connection.
Well, I was thinking because sometimes we were talking about things that are so weird that we never talk about, and it's like, well, that would maybe make a good sketch if we twisted that in such a way.
That's a good way of connecting things, man.
Yeah,
there you go.
Excellent.
Thank you,
honestly
Matt.
just thought it was a random. Let's ask 4 questions.
I thought it was
see the end game.
Yeah.
4 questions, 4 strangers,
Four
4 strangers, 4 questions.
Yeah, that's
4 pianos.
yeah.
I just did the panic. I'm going to come up and try to bring this all together at the last
good.
second.
Oh,
Make
that's
it
good.
look like I thought of this a lot, but not really. Yeah.
That's good.
Don't show us behind the curtain, Matt.
Well, we're showing behind the curtain
He
right
shows
now
a lot
on our
behind
brand
the
new
curtain.
YouTube channel. We shall look at it every single time.
All right, so who's going to ask the first question?
I have one, but Laura, you had a question too. Maybe that's
You start it off?
Yeah.
You want to start it off?
All right. Well,
Because we had this whole thing last year where you had no sketches, and then you came up with a sketch. So I think it's appropriate that now that you have written the sketch and it was performed in the show, that you get the first question of the season 2.
it's kind of like
What?
cards or some kind of game where you like.
Yep, whoever won the last round.
Did I win?
But are we playing asshole? I don't know. All right, here we go.
All right.
Question 1.
All
Season
right.
2.
Well,
No
it
pressure.
is,
Oh my God.
We need like a question 1
Okay.
for the next podcast. I think that's
so we can. I can
just do
I
that.
already have it, Matt. Listen.
We could, yeah,
Shh,
just
listen.
do it.
Okay.
You
perfect.
see-
That was
yes,
good.
yes,
You
yes.
did it so fast too.
Yeah.
You turned it around. Okay.
Well, okay. Well, as you all know, I was out of town recently, and I saw some weddings happening. I was in beautiful Perth, Ontario, and
I thought you were like world traveling.
it's wedding season. It's summer wedding season, and I saw a beautiful wedding in the park, and I just wondered, what is the point? And it was very beautiful. And actually, I had been in my friend's wedding
Yeah.
there at that park 15 years ago.
right.
Is this the friend you?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I was her bridesmaid. And and we were talking about it. And would we get married now with an actual wedding? Do you agree? What does it feel archaic, pointless? Or
Okay. I see what
is
you're
it a necessary ritual?
So
What does it do?
So now you're coming at this at a perspective of someone who had been married, right? And would so instead of a perspective of somebody who was like in their youth ready to get married. So because we recently attended a wedding too, and I thought it's pretty ritualistic. I'm like, this seems like a lot of money to. I don't know. I just
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking of.
It's
I
nice.
think
to
you would be
together.
hard pressed to find somebody who has already been married who would do a second wedding.
Yes.
No, but that's that's a wild
Like
generalization.
Matt?
because lots of people. yeah, you did. That's true. No, that's true.
Well, it would be different though if I was marrying someone who'd already been married
Yes.
in the past.
Yes,
That probably
yes,
wouldn't happen.
exactly.
But Jen hadn't been
Yes.
married before, so
And your wedding, I would say, was not a
Traditional or
no, it was more of a
Yeah,
party.
Yeah,
We had a
No, for
casino
sure.
at
Yeah.
our
That was a
wedding.
really
Yeah.
fun wedding.
Yeah.
So,
But there is something about going through it the first time because I surprised myself with how traditional my wedding choices were.
Really?
Yes, because I didn't think I would go with a free dress. I didn't think I'd change my name. I didn't think I'd,
Was that all your
I didn't think
choice?
I'd register for a relish tray, but I did all of those things because
Hey.
I don't know if I got swept up in it or if I don't know. It's hard to say.
Did you
if I
did you
just felt-
read those magazines?
No, I didn't.
Did you have a book, like a planner?
No, and I didn't. I think I went to one wedding show and I just sort of wandered aimlessly and was like, "This is so overwhelming," So I in a way we kept it very simple, but for things like that, like I did wear the froofy dress and I did go for a lot of the traditions that I didn't think I would. So because I liked them and I was like,
I
screw it, man, I
know.
want to wear a froofy dress. But I did even at the time think this is a lot of effort, basically
Yes.
going into having everybody over for dinner.
Is it just
Yes.
it becomes such a societal expectation that if you don't follow the format of a wedding, it's like, oh, it's blasphemous type thing,
I don't know. But then all the hipsters are off just getting married in the woods and stuff,
the
right?
woods.
I don't know, like with their
That's
So
how I
maybe-
wanted to get married the first time.
Polaroids and
Maybe that's the
stuff.
sketch, is the hipster
We should
wedding.
do we should do a wedding. We've never had an actual wedding sketch.
That's true.
We should.
Maybe we should build in season 2. That's what we're building towards, the wedding at the end of the season.
Remember that show in Toronto, Tony and
Oh yeah, Tony and Tina's wedding or something. Yeah,
we should do that. Project G Force. It's like a dinner theater, but it's a wedding. And
Maybe the character Laura Trolio gets married. We're planning her wedding, and none of us wants to go. But well, because I'm just saying in the show
As a character,
nobody likes Laura, right? In general, I mean, we make fun of her during the show, not in real life.
well,
Yeah. Okay.
well, sometimes real life. Right? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay. A little bit, but not. Yeah, but in the show, it's a little bit nastier, right? So yeah. Yeah. So all right.
I know it is funny though. Yeah, like the whole giving away, because you can be like a modern thinking woman and then just say, yeah, I'm gonna have my parent give me away to someone. That's weird. But then do lesbian and gay weddings do the same thing? I don't know.
Yes.
I have not been to. I've never been to a gay wedding, so I don't know.
I need to do that.
Homework.
All right.
Homework. If there's anybody out there who would like to invite Project G Force to your gay wedding, we would love to come, and we will take lots of notes. And we hope that doesn't strike you as odd. Well,
I'm just.
well, I don't know about behaving because I don't know if Matt will keep his pants on, but that's
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Depends. It's 50-50.
All right.
yeah.
Do we all have to be invited together as a pack?
Can I
Do you want to
mention?
be at a separate table?
I just want to mention that I did buy a new suit for this wedding
Yes,
that
you
we
did.
most recently went to,
Yes.
and it was a tiny bit tight. I was going to say that I called it a millennial suit. It's like
What? You called it that, or it was?
That's what I called
No.
it because it's like
I thought,
it's just like the
tag
pants
was
don't go like old man enough high. You know what I mean? Like they're just sort of like they sit a little lower. The pants are like tapered a little tighter. So it was like I liked it. People were complimenting me on said suit,
snazzy.
but it was
Snazzy.
but it was I found it a tiny bit tight. If I lost maybe 20 pounds, it'd fit perfect. But
Will
No,
you
it
wear it
was a-
again?
what's that?
Will you wear it again?
Oh yeah, I have to. I paid money for it, so I'm fitting into that thing. It's like sausagey my way into it. no matter what.
Foundation garment.
Yes, you need a foundation garment. Exactly. No, but it was a lovely wedding that we went to.
Yes. It was.
Absolutely. And at the time, I wasn't like, this is ritualistic.
No.
But just when you
Think
step
back.
back and think about it, and like, I would not, if I were getting married again, I would spend the money on something else.
No.
Right?
But see, when you're in it, you don't know it, right?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, like, we could have. That's like whatever.
And no matter what you try to cut back on, there's always someone who'll say, like, it's like, I'll just get so-and-so to do the photographer. You can't cut back on the photographer. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't matter what you try to cut
exactly.
back on, there's always someone that's like, you can't cut back on.
You can't cut back on the napkins.
Yeah, on the cheese tray.
Well, that's true. There
Exactly.
are sometimes outside influences from like parents
Yes.
and things
Yes.
like that. Oh, well, you have to have chair covers. Like, yeah. My
Really?
mother and I had a whole fight about fucking goat cheese in the salad. So
Well, who would I have sided with?
Yeah, that's
the
true.
anti-goat cheese person. But
that's true.
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't have any fights with anybody. Everybody was
Really?
pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very low key, I have to say, considering it was like 130 people at the Ukrainian Hall, and we had pierogies and whatever. It was still a big wedding.
I
But
wish I had known you then.
I know Thomas is the only one who was there.
Yeah, I was at the table that.
You were at the fun table. But I was thinking that, were you dating Michelle then? Did I not give you a +1? I don't think you were. I don't think you were. No, I think if you had been dating, I would have.
Because when did you get married? 2002?
Good question. Yes.
Yeah, no,
2002.
we had not been yet. No.
Like, I feel like you guys were maybe hanging out.
Yeah, no, not
Maybe?
even as close
Okay.
to that. So
Okay.
no, it's fine. No,
Yeah.
no, we had it because it was a table of I was saying because it was like I didn't really know anybody there, but it was just different people that got together. But it was a super fun.
It was a fun friends table.
It was a fun friends table, yeah. So she mixed all her fun friends together that didn't quite go with anybody else.
Exactly.
So she threw them in a day, and I had a
You
really
guys
good time
lots
at
of
that
fun.
one.
Yeah. Allison was there,
Yes,
right? You were
yeah.
at the fun table with Allison.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
There you go.
So yes,
Well,
we
I
do
would.
need weddings.
I
so
would
that
have
people
enjoyed
can
your
meet each other.
wedding.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yes.
Matt's wedding.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Thomas's wedding.
I think the actual wedding, like the part after the ceremony, is good.
Yes.
It's all the stuff beforehand is kind of sometimes it feels a bit silly. That's all. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, is this okay to say no gift? I don't want any gifts. Just come, pay for dinner.
I think people.
Not our dinner. Like just like if it's at a restaurant.
Is this
or
a Kelsey's?
something.
What is this? Where are we going here? I'll take the broccoli soup and
the gift is intended to pay for the dinner anyway. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's funny.
That's the sketch. All right.
How much can we cut back on the
Yes.
wedding?
All right.
someone goes to like someone's house because they didn't give quite enough,
Yeah.
like as a gift. It's like I know you only gave $50, and
It's a nice mug you got there, and I'll take that.
yeah, I'll just
As a
take a few
speaker.
things to
Yeah.
sort of make up. There you go.
I like that. All right.
All right, so I know not to do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Just when I said it out
Don't bring me
loud,
a
it
gift,
was like,
but
no,
buy
I
your
already
own
know the
dinner.
answer.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh my god.
Well, it's because I find that a bit stressful. What do you get? I think I would just rather come and
So
pay for
you
a
want-
nice evening.
You want to be like Carla's budget wedding planner. Yeah, it's you just gotta write your invitations on the napkin and you send them off. It's fine. Nobody cares.
Just send a general
you don't
email.
care
It's
about
fine.
chair covers?
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
A Facebook
What? It's
event.
It's gonna
You
have
want-
asses on it.
Yeah.
Do you really care?
Yeah.
Like,
What,
come on.
chairs? You want chairs? You don't need chairs.
Stand. It's sitting is the new smoking.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? Hey, bales. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, hay bales. Yep.
With no other country
Desk,
seat
stand up
available. Stand up tables. Yes, exactly. Hold on to the centerpiece. I didn't take the centerpiece.
Oh yeah, you won the centerpiece.
I won the centerpiece.
You
I
did?
forgot to take it.
Yeah.
It was who at your table most recently saw a show. Everybody pointed at me.
Nora,
Yeah. Yeah. I win.
What were the favors?
Chocolates. Purdy's? Were they from
Yeah,
Purdy's?
they were tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were good.
I didn't have any because Jen like ate them all on the way in the car because I was driving and all I hear is like, she's like she's just shoving them in like 'cause she had a few to drink, you know, and she was just like, oh my,
would-
she's like,
I
oh my
would
god,
have
these
done
are
that
so
too.
good. And I'm like, yes, I have them. Like, she even said, oh, you won't like these ones because there's nuts in them or something. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
They were.
I think they were hazelnut,
Yeah,
were
they
they?
were
Maybe?
it's
Yeah.
like a nougaty type thing. It was creamy. It was good. Yeah. All right.
It was good.
All right.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All
Good
right.
question.
Good job.
Good question.
Good
Yeah.
question. Some things.
Things to
sprang
think about.
forth. Yeah. Interesting. Who's next?
I have a question. Or you have a question?
I don't want to be last,
All right.
so
Okay.
I'll go third.
We'll go we'll do this one quickly. Okay. This is actually show related. What do you have any pre-show rituals that you kind of have to do before you go on stage, or things that you
Other than
that
poop?
happen?
If
Well, that's okay. So that's I was gonna bring that up.
Sorry.
that P-
I have the
PSD?
not to eat, but there is always the pre-show dump.
Yeah. The
yeah.
PSD. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's a nervous thing. No, stomach, and then after that,
lots.
yeah.
Well, then some farting
Yes.
backstage
Yeah.
as well. or whatever. If I don't go through all of my lines, I would be very stressed out if I didn't.
Like
Why-
before we get together?
When we can do it together, that's fine as well. But like when I've been in shows, like I have to.
Somebody's phone will sorry
Oh.
about later.
I have to go through all my lines, or I would be super stressed out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Even
the
after
thing.
the opening? You just have to do
Yeah,
it
every night. That would be part of my for Steel Magnolias. I would read and just go through it, but otherwise,
probably
like
my
I'll just
phone.
stand in the hallway and go through the lines.
Okay.
Do we want to find out if that's
I don't
an
know.
emergency? Is it the
It won't
bat
be.
phone?
I don't know who's falling. It's totally interrupting our podcast.
Well, maybe
life.
it's our
That's what
first.
happens.
Maybe it's our first caller.
Yeah. We'll go to the phones and
No, it wasn't me. Hello. No, maybe it's HQ is live. That's why.
Can you imagine if that was actually buzzing and buzzing and buzzing to tell you that?
Okay.
Anything else? Any other?
Matt, do you have any
Pre-show
superstitions
rituals?
or pre-show?
I always just have to like stretch in that because I find like I start to like get weak. It's just a body thing, right? You start to weaken out, so you're like, and so I have to stretch just to make sure I still can use my limbs. I get scared that I won't be able to do stuff on stage because I start to like freak out. Like, so
Well, that's my pre-show ritual is to go through all the terrible what-if scenarios that are going to happen on stage.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
That's not a
Find
ritual.
that-
I don't like it. It just happens. Like, oh, okay. What happens if I pee my pants on stage? And what happens if, yeah.
I want to hear your exit strategies.
Yeah.
What do
I have
you do if
to,
you pee your
I-
pants
I
on
just-
stage?
That's why you wear black pants. I don't know. It's just so you don't. Yeah. No, there's a lot of.
Maybe we
it's
should be
all goes with
prepared.
anxiety, right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody
Yeah.
has to wear.
What
Debs.
happens if I'm definitely gonna totally blank and mess up the scene, which never happens. But yeah, but no, that's my thing. I don't do it on purpose. It's just
that's too bad.
Once the show starts, everything goes away, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to pee anymore.
When do those questions cease? Is it when we all see each other? No, that intensifies it.
Yeah. No, I just as soon as the song starts, that before we go on stage, the cue song, then I'm fine. Yeah, but that's just the thing. It's okay. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I still, like as we're about to go on, I'm still like, what the why?
Yeah,
why am I doing this?
That
this
hour
is,
before,
this is going to be terrible, and I shouldn't have. Yeah. Why am I
always,
here?
I do worry about just blanking, but I feel okay with you guys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know it would be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like with
well,
you
it
guys.
did happen. It happens every show.
Really?
I loved Nora when I did forget. We were doing the porta potty one, and you always have this great way of helping. I know I forgot something, and you were like, and "Isn't there anything else you need to ask about?" And then immediately I remembered.
Oh, there you go.
They didn't say nope. And walk off
Yeah,
stage.
exactly.
Bad improv.
I mean, that's a sketch.
Bad
Oh
improv.
God.
We are masters of that.
And
Do
people
not
still
do this at
say-
home.
People are still like, "Oh, are you in an improv group?" And I'm like, "No, definitely not improv because we're terrible at it."
But then we discussed this before, and we do improvise. Really, we do all the time.
Yeah.
In various ways. So we shouldn't say it's like I tell my students, don't say you're bad at English because you're here, you're speaking, we're there, we're acting. We're not bad improvisers.
Thomas looks distracted.
No, I'm good. I'm just.
He's looking at his kids.
No, I'm not. There's
You guys
things are glitching a bit here, so I just
boring.
want to make sure everything's fine. That's all. We're fine. Everything's good. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Glitching. We're glitching. We need a theme song for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your ritual, Miss Laura?
Well, opening the first show, I know we usually just do 2, so it's either opening or closing.
We did have that mid show on
did.
Saturday.
I didn't have
Saturday
time
at
to do a
7.
ritual for the-
Exactly.
The first opening day, I can't do much at all. I'm just that day I had an essay. I thought I'd get I can't do anything. I just have to. I do look at the script. I just basically walk around jittery.
It's hard to concentrate on anything
Yeah.
else because you know you got to do the show. You're so nervous, and I know I'm worried about missing lines, and it's like, ugh.
I'm excited though. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, I just want to get to the fucking theater.
I'm fine, and it's a normal day until 3 o'clock, like almost on the dot. My stomach will go, flip,
Yes.
and my palms
Yes.
start to sweat. And I'm like,
Really?
oh
Yes.
yeah, there's a show tonight. Like I literally,
Yeah.
it is a physical feeling.
And from that moment,
Yeah,
I
and then,
just
like,
get
the-
ready. I
yeah.
just make sure everything's washed. I got my props.
Who's Matt talking to?
Just over here.
It's like he's peeing.
That's interesting. So it's the whole kind of day. Yeah.
Well,
Where you're-
usually we're at work.
Yeah.
It was Easter. It was Good Friday, so I
Right.
wasn't. We did that show we did that promo, John and I did.
Right.
So that helped. But yeah, I can't eat much. I just have to eat something very light. And
PSD.
yeah, yes, I can't. Yeah, I can't imagine having what we would have after the show, before the show, like beer and nachos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a terrible pre-show meal.
Yeah,
That was
it's
Have
more
some
like
brie cheese and
miso soup and some broth. I don't know. Energy drinks. I don't know. I just no alcohol. I made that mistake a few years ago.
You drank before
for one of our shows.
The hot women one. Not a lot, just a glass of like a beer or a glass of wine, and I felt like I was in slow motion for the show.
Yeah, it throws you off a little bit.
Yeah.
I went through a ritual where I had to drink an energy drink before every show.
Oh.
And you know how I am on it.
Yeah, you're a
that's
low
one thing,
energy
very
guy.
low
Yeah.
energy on stage.
I don't know why I decided to start doing this. So I did it for quite a while. I'd have one before every show. And I don't know why. And I was like, So I stopped that.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
But then the next night I feel more relaxed. So
That's true.
it's not.
Once you get the first
As long as once I know the audience is happy, then I can relax. If I know, okay, we were funny and
Yeah.
everything went off
It wasn't
okay.
just
we
a
We
didn't
get that
rip
people
Yeah.
angry
Yeah.
at us, so that's
Yeah.
no.
Yes. I did do that one. We did that.
Well, we did. Some
That
people got angry. and some of
OEV
this-
joke, right? I said, "Oh, that's east of Adelaide." And
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Boo!"
I wondered if that
my
would
God.
be.
It was a but it was not a. I don't think it was a genuine boo. It was,
Nah, it's like
they have a good sense.
it's low hanging fruit
Yeah,
in London.
Yeah.
So
There you go. I didn't have. Oh, see, wait, I didn't put the question. That was question 2. I didn't put the sound bite. Let me put the sound bite in now. There we go.
okay, perfect,
that's
excellent.
good.
excellent.
Now ready for question 3?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go.
When was the last time you cried?
Whoa!
Oh.
This is gonna be such a downer topic.
Wow, so funny.
I don't know. It just popped into my head like as I was,
Yeah.
sitting around for
Because
the
you didn't
hour
prepare
before I
for the
left.
show.
Correct.
Yes.
Any of you who listen to Music Moron would know
'Kay.
that's my jam. I don't prepare.
Before I answer the question, I'm going to say, Nora, it was sometime earlier today.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. So it's easy for me to remember. I was, well, first of all, I watched the clip and it made me cry earlier today. And then I came home and I was trying to describe the clip to everybody in my family and I started crying again. And it was just a clip of a guy on Judge Judy where it was about somebody had perhaps stolen a dog and they were
saw
trying
that
to
clip.
See? Did you get misty though?
No, because I
listeners?
there was no audio on the clip. We were like, why is there no
But
audio
even
on
with
this?
no audio, even with no audio, it's still.
I was
and the woman
laughing.
came in and she was like, "Put the dog down," and then the dog ran over to the guy who was like, "Beep, beep, beep," and then Judge Judy just like pick up the dog, and the dog was like licking the guy and everything, and Judy was like, "That's his dog.
Yeah.
Case dismissed."
And she like walked out, dropped
Yeah.
the mic, and just walked
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So that was me.
All right.
So that's no big deal. That's
Well-
not like, getting me to cry is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I know it can't be that long ago. I'll think about that.
have you watched any good movies that made you cry lately? TV commercials.
I-
I haven't seen a good commercial
think,
that's
'cause
made
I
me
haven't
cry in a long
answered.
time.
All right.
Okay.
I haven't full out like sob, but I recently watched that thing, James Corden and Paul McCartney.
Yes.
That was that made me very. I did tear. And
Yes.
it was very because it was really sweet
I know.
and it was very human.
know.
And you could tell, and James Corden is like, this is probably like the best things ever happened in his life,
Exactly.
right?
When he told the story about Mother Mary comes to me, and then
Yeah.
James Corden was all weepy.
That was
That was a good one.
if you haven't seen that, we were promoting James Corden here. Go watch that.
That
thing.
was really good.
That's a
Yeah,
good thing.
that was like there was one where he was doing the carpool karaoke with Stevie Wonder, and then
Oh.
Stevie Wonder, James Gordon got him to take the phone and sing "I Just Called to Say I Love You" to his wife.
Oh.
and then
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing. Then James Gordon was all misty, wiping with.
Oh.
Like he just strikes me as somebody who, when he'll be in the middle of an interview or something, is like, "Oh my God, this is real life.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing this
I'm
thing."
a
right?
schlub from
Yeah,
England who's
exactly.
sitting in the car with Stevie Wonder. That's,
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good answer.
All right.
Also cried at that. That's what we can
Well.
judge it against. Would I have also cried at it?
Yes.
I
Cry.
would. Would Nora cry? That's a sketch.
Yeah. Would?
That's
Yeah, it is.
That is
Yes,
definitely,
a
a sketch. Would Nora cry? And I could probably cry on stage.
Yeah.
Nora, could you just
Could we
talk
act out-
through that
could we
scene
act
in
out the
MASH
scenes?
where exactly?
out the
Oh my
scenes?
God! Yes. Yeah.
That has to have a
Then-
speed round.
And then
yeah.
Radar
Oh, yeah.
walks in, and they say, "Radar, put on a mask." And then he says, "Helicopter carrying Henry quit down, and there were no survivors." It's so sad. Actually, there's a scene in the show that I'm going to do where I recount a scene from Bridges of Madison County, and it was like I had to
Oh.
read it for the audition, and I was like, "This is totally in my wheelhouse. This is something I would do any day of the week." If somebody was like, "Do you remember that scene?" and I'd be like, "Yes." And they're in the truck, and then it's raining, and yeah.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. I might cry at that.
Matt, do you have an answer?
All right.
Do you
I can't
cry?
remember the last
Do
time.
you cry, Matt?
I do actually, and I cry at really stupid things on movies. It's mostly music based. Like if it's something like the swelling music, like like when I watched Star Wars: Force Awakens, I cried all through that movie.
What?
Because it's the stupid music. It's like the like like that, like, and it's just like I would start like, and Nelson's like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "I can't stop," because it was the first time all these characters had been together on, like when Princess Leia and Han Solo saw each other for the first time, and I was like, "Well, I'm." And I was just like, but it's like sometimes during shows and stuff, I'll I just certain things will spark me. A lot of times if it's someone like someone with a kid, like will, I'll cite an example. I don't know if you remember the Cineplex thing. I was like 2 years ago. It was like a Christmas thing where the guy had these balloons and they had movies in them. It was like an animated feature before.
Yes.
I bawled every single time during that stupid thing, and even to the point where they were making fun of me at work because I had said that to somebody, and then they started sending me the video all the time, like to see if I cry. I don't know why, because it was just a dad and his son, and it was just like
he goes off to plow the snow or whatever.
And I'm like, oh, stop it.
He wants to. His son really wants to watch a movie with his dad, and then his dad
was always going away, and then he gets a giant balloon that's got all the movies in it. Yeah. It's like
because he had a balloon with his dad.
I have to see this because I'm not picturing how movies are in a balloon. So I got to see
it's one of those like it was like a cartoon feature or like like before the movie,
but it's still promoting Cineplex.
And the year before they had one with a snowman, and he went into like an ice box, remember, outside, and then he melted or something, or I can't remember. It was all like so sad. But anyways.
Those were good answers. You made
me think about like at the movies, and I mean this wasn't recent, but Lion. It was like embarrassing crying.
I saw Lion too, and I was like a mess.
Not crying. I was sobbing, and it was in the theater. Sobbing.
God, walk me back. What's Lion about?
Was that the one?
India. He
goes
gets
to find
separated from his family.
Oh my God!
And you haven't seen Lion?
No.
Oh, Nora, you'd be crying and then he gets put in an orphanage, and he doesn't really know the name of the town they're from. His parents, and then somehow
he's a 5-year-old boy who just gets on a train accidentally, and then I know, and then he falls asleep on the train, and then he wakes up in a completely different side of India, and then nobody can
It is so, and then later on he uses he finds
Google Earth. He as an adult he ends up in Australia.
Okay, Google Earth comes into play. Okay,
he's like years later.
Is Nicole Kidman in
yes,
this? Okay.
Yes,
and they adopt him. From an orphanage.
So Nora's last cried exactly 25
Yeah, exactly. It's like this
like
X number of days without an accident.
Judge Judy's out.
Yep.
Line's in.
14 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that you can only watch once. Like, I would never watch it again. I don't think I could make it through it again.
Like Life is Beautiful?
Yeah, it's like
it's
a great movie. I just don't think I can watch it.
No, I could watch Lion again because it's it's also a true story, Nora.
Oh God, come on!
No, but it really is uplifting.
And
it's beautiful.
The kid gets to go to the Oscars, so it's a happy ending.
It's beautiful, but it was
like
I'm embarrassed. I was just sighing. I couldn't even stand. It was just like
that was me at the theater too. It was awful.
Oh no!
But it's so good, and it's humanity. It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, that brought the room down.
Did we mention we're
I remember
comedy troupe?
When I went to see Steel Magnolias in the theater, somebody was sobbing like that at the end, like something just snapped, and she started crying, like she was crying, and then crying, laughing at this, hit Weezer, and then couldn't pull it together because there's still a good few minutes of the movie left, right, with the Easter hunt, and you see Jackson's grown up and everybody's fine, and Daryl Hannah goes off to have her baby on the motorcycle, right?
Right, yeah.
So there's a little bit of a wrap up there, but the woman could not, lights were up and everybody's leaving, and she was just sobbing. I know, something broke. Speaking of movies that are going to make me cry, the Mr. Rogers one, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I want to go see that, and I know it's going to be bad news. All right.
I would basically cry just watching that on a Sunday morning with the kids, like just watching an episode of Mr. Rogers.
And I
He
met
was
Mr.
so
McFeely.
sweet.
So
Really?
I did. He was at a Comic-Con. I met him, and he would not stop talking. I could probably give you his email. You could probably email him. He gave me his card. He was great though. He had a lot of back stories behind the scenes and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Funny how all the crying things have to do with like TV or movies.
Yeah, not real life. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I was at a funeral.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But
no,
that's-
it wasn't that. It was.
Nobody cried at the wedding.
So-
But you did say what was the last thing you cried at. So
That's true.
That
That was the
true.
last thing. Yes. No, I
It's the
didn't cry at
power
the
of
wedding.
art.
You know what? I got misty because the groom
Yes.
got all verklimped
Aw,
when he got up to the
that would
front.
have made
He got
me
all
cry.
verklimped. So then I didn't cry, but I was like,
Yeah. There were some lovely moments.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So we got a couple of sketches
Yes.
so far, and we still got one more question.
All right. This is also a Feely sort of
Oh.
question. The question is: public displays of affection, yes or no?
What
It depends.
Okay, what kind? How far are we talking? Like a hand holding?
I'm talking like kissing in public or like fondling. I'm talking like I'm
tasteful.
talking as almost any public display of
Like
affection.
tasteful, like tasteful tonguing? Is that?
Yes. No, like
Because I was driving down the street the other day, I saw some people like they were just like making out on the side of the street, and I'm like,
Well,
you know what?
that's such
I'm
a
gonna
broad.
lay my cards on the table and say it depends on the people.
Oh.
Okay, we were at.
If we
There are
want
some
to watch,
people that you just
they're lovely
do
to look
not
at.
want to see.
So we're at Legoland.
Oh my
Legoland,
God! This
and
is
there's a couple making out. Actually, there's cameras. There's part of the Legoland where there's a camera in one side of the room, and you can. It's the space room, and you can watch people.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the camera, and there's clearly a couple making out right underneath the camera. I thought that's an inappropriate place making out.
were they
period.
minifigures or they?
No, they were real. Yeah. So
that's weird.
So
Huh?
depends
So
on the people, location.
and extent of display. Really.
but is that really just? Why should it bother? It really has nothing to do with you, right?
If you,
But-
if,
Yeah, I know,
if you
and
just
that's
go
it shouldn't.
by-
Yeah.
But it's just I find it awkward.
yeah.
Like,
because you're staring at them.
well, and they're
Why?
making a display.
You're making them feel awkward.
Yeah, well, there's a display. I was scared.
But
I
maybe
did have
those-
binoculars, but
Maybe those people, do they want to be looked at?
that's the thing. Like, it's like a kiss goodbye or something is one
Yeah.
thing if they're
Yeah.
leaving it, but it's the ones that are like holding each other and they're kind of schmoopy and they're like,
If he has his hand in her shirt, like type thing, that's probably a little too far. Yeah.
Oh, the hand in the back pocket.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. Oh God, that makes me throw up in my mouth
that go?
when I see people.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not for it, but I mean, I if you want to do it, that's fine. But it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But does this include just holding hands?
that's
Because
fine.
when you
Holding
say
hands is fine. Holding hands
When
is
you
fine.
when you see like the couple that's been married for 50 years still holding hands,
I love
I
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's fine.
But if they were making out on the corner,
I would
Or at the
say,
bus stop?
yeah, good for you guys.
really?
If they're married 50 years and they're making out,
Yeah.
and they're not just
I'm
like
ageist. I don't need to see old people making out.
Ageist. I
would
don't know.
applaud.
It's like it's teach their own, but it's just sometimes it's just inappropriate. Like I just not. I always feel uncomfortable when other people are like schmoopy around me. Like I just find I find it uncomfortable. Like,
But you're not a hugger.
I don't hug a lot. I don't like.
Matt, do you want to make out right now?
No,
Can we
I
hug
don't.
you?
Yeah. Can we just hug Matt? Just hug Matt.
I don't mind a hug once in a while. I just am like I don't know.
Let's dig into this, Matt.
I don't like invading people's personal space. That's what I don't like doing.
Right.
So.
Came over
Interesting.
like this. We start talking like this. Is this
And that was the podcast for today, and we'll be.
well, we are at
If
40
I
minutes. so-
see people like doing a public display, I like to figure out their story.
Oh, okay, that's
like
not-
like I was driving to work one day and there were people at the corner of like Horton and Richmond, and it was like a Friday, and it was like a really like I just thought, oh, one of them is leaving, like one of them is going to the train station or something. Like they were clearly saying goodbye and not going to see each other for a while. So it was like one of these kind of things. So
that's
you're sort of seeing a moment
Yeah.
in their lives. So that didn't make me go, ugh, gross. I was like, oh, I wonder what's happening there. Oh, green light, and then I had to drive away.
Maybe I'll use that for now on to help me get through
Yes,
it.
just
I don't know why it bugs me so much. It's just it's like,
What,
do you have to do
what
this here?
happened just right before that public display?
I mean,
I
if
don't
they
know.
just seem
I feel like there's
skeezy,
maybe
they're
a
just
drug deal.
Yeah, if they're just like drunk and making out, then no, I would be like, I don't need.
So you're
that.
looking
Yeah.
for the human emotion in there, like
Yes. If it was people married
Right.
for 50
Because-
years who were being schmoopy or something.
Right.
Yeah.
because the airport goodbye and the airport hello are two of the purest moments that you can
That
have.
show.
Yeah.
Do you watch that show?
What show?
Hello, goodbye.
What?
What?
Are you fucking kidding
What?
me?
I
you
need to
bring
watch
that up
this
and
show.
you've never watched this show?
I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
a show on CBC and it's called Hello Goodbye, and they're
what?
just in the airport and they
Oh my
interview
God.
people who are.
This might be my new favorite
You
show.
have to watch it. Like, turn this off right now
Okay.
and pull up
Good
some
night, everybody.
episodes. It's
Hello,
so
goodbye?
good
Yeah.
because he'll sort of talk to people who are at the airport.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
And sort of, oh, are you saying goodbye? Are you waiting for somebody? They get the story. They tell the whole backstory.
That's Love Actually.
My friend's dad was on it.
Come on.
Is this at Pearson?
Yeah. So my friend's dad was waiting for his brother who was coming over from Scotland. And they interviewed Davey, and then they,
Oh.
yeah,
my
it's
God.
so good. It's like 3 stories in a show. Like everybody would say that's the last time you cried if you watched an episode of Hello Goodbye. Guarantee you're gonna cry. I can't believe you would say that's the purest thing, and that you didn't even know
They
that there
stole
was
your
this
idea.
show.
There's probably a sketch in there somewhere. too.
yeah,
Hello,
probably.
goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye, hello? Just goodbye.
Get the fuck out of here.
Came to visit me, and we had never met before. And
Yeah.
we've just spent 2 weeks together, and I'm really waiting for the call for him to just get
So-
on the plane.
My cousin Brad has been here for 8 weeks now, and I just need him to get on this fucking plane.
It's called Goodbye question mark.
Goodbye. Really goodbye.
Just go.
Goodbye
Just
now.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, another sketch idea. But seriously, you have to watch this show. It's
right.
you can it's really good. And the one with Davey was really good, and we all watched it together. Had a big viewing.
I think I'm going to cry.
Oh god.
Thinking about it.
So good. All right, so what
All
do we
right.
get? We got
Goodbye.
Goodbye for Real.
Yeah.
Would it make Nora cry?
Yeah. Cheap wedding planner.
Yes.
Yes.
And more things that will come up when I
Oh, yeah, 'cause we
review
do-
the podcast.
Could we do a sketch about pre-show dumps?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Pre-show dumps, yes.
PSDs and PSAs.
Yes.
A PSA on
PD.
PSDs.
PDAs.
Yeah.
PDAs.
PDAs.
Right,
PSDs
PDAs.
and PDAs. That's the title of the next show. We
Okay.
just came up with it in the first episode.
There you go.
All right.
Done.
PSDs and PDAs.
There we go.
Sweet.
And Judge Judy's in it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Take the dog out of here.
Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
He's the wedding planner.
And on that note,
All
I'm
right.
going to close today's podcast.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Have a good night, everybody.